Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Rugby Union Action here live on SSTV. I'm Miles King. Today I'll be joined on commentary by Webb and Dosanjh behind the camera. We're here for a brilliant start from a brilliant team. We've been waiting all season to see Salford Rugby Union have their chance to play, and we will see it here today. Live from Yarnbury Rugby Club, we will see them take on Leeds Beckett in Union Action. Here we go. Referee will do his rudimentary checks. Checked his watch, and we are live, underway at Yarnbury Rugby Club. And it's a good claim for Leeds Beckett early. And you've got to say they've got to be strong now, Salford, in the pressing and the challenges.
We've got a nice defensive line running up.
It's a good challenge, and I mean you've got to say the high press. I mean you touched on it. Tom DB is going to be one of our key players. Never misses a challenge.
Never misses. It's quite astonishing, really.
And he's confident. Oh, but number 6 has been able to break through there, and it's not great for Salford. And their number 9 will claim the first try of the game.
That's 5 points on the ball we didn't want to see, but we can bounce back.
It's less than ideal. It's not the best start, you know. I mean, obviously we mentioned it earlier. It's a very young team.
Yeah.
It's a team that hasn't played, you know, a lot of minutes together. You know, it's not perfect yet, but you know I think Salford can battle back today. They have conceded a try in a less than ideal area. It probably will be kicked by the 21 here, but
It was in a nice position. You have to give it to them.
exactly, it's all about regrouping here. It's all about regrouping, and it's all about, you know, coming forwards and looking to push on from a less than ideal start. I mean, like we said, we've got, you know, enforcers within you know, that forward line as well. We've got Tom Cresswell. We've got Remy Salacha. You know, we've got Matt Graham. Felix Hoxley. We've got so many people that can come in and change the game within, you know, the forwards. And then if we look at the backs, you mentioned Luke Grimshaw was your player to watch today.
Yeah.
Adam Watson is starting tonight. We got Zach Novak out on number 14. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how Salford come back. But you got to say they need a good start off this kick here.
Yeah.
They need to execute, you know, a high press and be able to, you know, pin Leeds Beckett in an area that they're not comfortable in.
But all credit to Leeds. That was a fantastic start for them.
Oh yeah, it was brilliant. It was brilliant rugby, you've got to say. But Henry Burrows will get us kicked off. He's put it in just that awkward area, just that far left corner. And Salford immediately looking for a high press, but Leeds Beckett are breaking out so well. You've got to say, Salford, they've got to be stronger in the challenge.
Stronger.
You know, they're like Leeds Beckett are just able to...
Getting ground.
Yeah, they're really progressing. And number 21's going to kick here. You've got to say, it's got to be a good claim by Salacha. And he hasn't been able to handle it, and he's actually conceded a line out right near the Salford 22.
Line-out's been a big practice for our forwards. Let's hope we can try and get the possession back.
Well, exactly. I mean, it's been coached into us well. You know, Sam Simpson coming over from Eccles, you know, really put his wisdom onto our forwards. But, you know, it's now time for the execution. The execution of that work has to come, you know, throughout. And we're going to see if we can claim.
Looks like Tom DB is about to go up to try and claim it.
DB's
Oh,
up,
he
and he's done
does
brilliantly.
claim it.
He's done brilliantly.
It's gone for another line out.
And it does look like it probably will be a Leeds Beckett line out, but you've got to say that's a positive.
That's a positive.
Obviously, they have gained ground there. It's less than ideal, but what a collection there from Tom DB, you know. He's a player to watch. He's really impressed everyone. You know, we had a training game. He was the man of the match in that training game. And he's looking to continue that good form into tonight. It looks like we are going to do...
Oh, we're going for a scrum.
A scrum here. Fortunately, we can't quite see who is feeding the scrum. It does look like it will be Dan Feast of Salford to feed the scrum. It's put across. Here's Mason. Mason goes over, and Salford will chase. Here's the 15. Their fullback will look to progress. Kicks it to... Oh, and he's done really well. Took out so many Salford players there.
That's Tom DB with that challenge. Never misses.
Now their 11 will go. Novak's got to be strong here with the challenge. Finds their 13. It's a brilliant challenge in there by Matt Graham.
Maybe a shout for offside, but nothing.
Well, you've got to say Leeds Beckett, they've been so good with being able to just push forward.
Yeah.
so good with their ball progression. And they're looking for their second try, and they
That's
have
all
claimed it.
Second try for Leeds Beckett.
I mean, you got to say, they are playing so well here.
They are playing well.
You know, only 7 minutes on the board.
Some moments of greatness like that line out, but
I mean, you got to say there are positives here for Salford, you know.
there are some positives. It is our first game.
Exactly. It's a very, you know, like it's early stages, it's
Early
baby
stages,
steps.
yeah.
It's baby steps against a very good Leeds Beckett side, and you know, there are good things that we are watching. You know, the ability to get out from the high press, like, but it's just been really, really precise and brilliant from Leeds Beckett. Obviously, we had some travel issues. We weren't able to warm up as well as we could. Not to take anything away from Leeds, but they've just been brilliant.
Yeah. Kick's gone through. It's 14 for Leeds.
But, you know, it's about character now. It's about character, you know. We've had a really less than ideal start. You know, the first 7 minutes have gone. We're 2 converted tries down. But it's about the character these boys are going to show. You know, we saw so many occasions last season. You know, the away days in Newcastle, the Man Met performance. So many games where, you know, the situation was less than ideal. It looked a bit doom and gloom, but we really showed the fight. Even varsity, which, you know, on the day didn't go our way. You know, we really showed great passion and fight to stay in that game and make it competitive until the very last second. Borrows the kick. Salford may be able to claim this one. DB went up, and he went up strong.
Great
Here's
claim.
Novak.
Great claim from Zach.
Here's Novak. It will be advantage for Salford. Here's Hoxley.
Here we could show our attacking ball.
Brilliant. He's just looking to bound through, isn't he? Feast. To Mason. To Salacha. He's a brilliant player, that Remy Salacha. He's been absolutely brilliant. Here's DB. He's been probably Salford's best player on the pitch so far. Feast. To Mason. They've got such a good connection on 9 and 10.
What a bounce.
They've got such a good connection on 9 and 10, you've got to say. Dan Feast, the veteran. Oh, surely. Oh, but it's
He turned over.
I mean, you got to say it was a brilliant press there from Leeds Beckett. I mean, you got to say this has really been, you know, Leeds Beckett's strong point. It's their ability to, you know, cut out the Salford attack, their ability to press. Ben Perry looks like he doesn't have room to claim, but it will be a Salford line-out.
Yeah.
And, you know, after seeing, you know, the performance of DB just literally a minute ago, I do feel confident that we are going to be able to claim. I mean, talk to me so far about Tom DB's performance. Like, well, obviously it's not been ideal for Salford, but you got to say he has been, you know, one of the shining
he's been
lights.
big in the tackles, big in the line out that we've seen. I would say he's on player of the match currently, but we'll see.
Exactly. Well, we will see. Obviously, hopefully Salford can turn this around. I mean, obviously we do have, you know, a lot of options from the bench. Obviously we are missing some key players. Christian Golding, obviously, unfortunately out for a large majority of the season, as is Will Trumper. But, I mean, we're hoping to have those players back, you know, towards the back end of the year. Salford have actually won the line-out, and we are going to claim. Here's Salacha. Looks to drive into that body of Beckett's men. Feast. To Mason. It was a brilliant
Nice
kick
line
there.
break.
Henry Burrows, he's shown, you know, good fight so far. Here's Vusi. Vusi Dumo, look at that, just bounding through men. Oh, it's a good shot there. You've got to bear in mind. I mean, would Salford maybe contemplate kicking here? You know, it is a very tight area.
I think they've learned that kicking can leak tries, as we've seen, but they've won a penalty there.
Exactly. I think the ref has called that there wasn't actually a release of the ball by Tom DB.
Unfortunate.
I think
They're
a touch and go, it looks
touch
like.
and go, I think.
I mean, obviously, we were mentioning we do have strength and depth earlier. You know, we've got players that can come on. Niall Smith, obviously, looking to make his debut. Charlie Hignett. Oh, and that's a brilliant shot there.
Brilliant shot. Brilliant.
I think that was Tom Cresswell just getting involved. Looking to bound through. Matt Graham did well, but it's really close to the line, and it's really close to under the post as well. They're going to look to push. It's a good challenge.
Good defence from Salford here, right on the line.
Oh, but he's going to push. He's going to push. He's going to look for the third try of the day.
They tried to hold them back, but It's just great attack from
It's,
Leeds.
I mean, it's been a picture-perfect start for Leeds Beckett, you know. I mean, Salford are showing, you know, fight, they're showing power. I think they probably are going to get into the game, like, they're going to grow into it. But, you know, Leeds are really showing their quality early.
Yeah.
And Salford are struggling, you know, with the high press, with the power that they're representing, because they're going in 2s and 3s when they push towards the line. Yeah. I mean, we're going to see how this game goes, you know. Like, Salford have got such a strength in depth, you know. Niall Smith, Charlie Hignett, Zach Pounder's return. You know,
Zach Pounder, what a name.
Exactly. There's so many people that we can see, you know, introduced that can change the game. And, you know, Salford, they are going to concede their 3rd converted try. But we can see...
Nice conversion. They've been good on the conversions. And kicking in general.
Exactly. But we're going to see, you know, obviously the team leaders over there, Ben Perry, Will Trumper, Christian Golding, they're going to be talking to the boys. Adam Watson, also very vocal. They're going to be talking to the boys and trying to, you know, inspire them, you know, get them up for it, you know, because it's a less than ideal start, but it's not, the game's not dead. It's still early in the day.
Still early.
And there is still a way back. You know, we have game changers in this side. We've got people who are very passionate about, you know, Salford Rugby Club, and we're going to push. I mean, Lewis, like, what would you say Salford need to, you know, incorporate into their game plan now? You know,
we need to work more on our attack. They turned us over when we had a good-looking attack, and as you saw on the line down there, we just need to. Our defence, we're letting them get through.
I mean, you can see there, it's just too easy to penetrate the defensive line.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got it, you know, near his 22, and he's just driven pretty much to the halfway line by himself. You know, I mean, we've got to be quicker on these attacks.
We've got a nice knock on from Leeds, I believe, and we've got a scrum to really show our pack, our front 3 demons.
I mean, you got to be confident in a scrum here, don't you? Like,
got to be.
I mean, we were speaking about, you know, the front row. I mean, even the second row and the back row are just monstrous here.
We've got at least 300 kg in the front line alone.
Exactly, mate.
Immense.
We've got nearly 400 kg in the front line. Flat will push. It will be uncontested. And Feast will kick to Mason. Watson.
That's unfortunate.
It did go backwards, so it was not a knock-on. And Burrows looks to push it forward.
Cheeky crate.
Now Ben Perry will collect. You got to think he doesn't need to collect now. He will kick. Oh, and it's a less than ideal kick. You know, the ref has blown up here. And he will be having a word with our captain today, Dan Feast, the veteran. And it is a Leeds Beckett penalty, it does look like. I wasn't quite sure of what was given there, but they have touch and go.
Offside.
And now it's their number 6. He's bounding forwards.
Wow. It's unfortunate.
And that is another try for Leeds Beckett.
Entertaining game at the very least.
Exactly. I mean, Salford can, you know, push forwards from this. You know, like, even if the result does not go their way today, you know, we're going to look to, you know, implement the patterns that we saw in training. You know, especially, you know, the forward line looking to implement their game plans. We're going to look to come away with some positives today.
We should get some scores on the boards, and I think that'll really get the lads going.
Like, I think if we can, you know, come away with, you know, a list of positives today that we can, you know, move forward to, because obviously we mentioned after the new year, we've got so many fixtures lined up that, you know, if we can take something from this game, see, you know, a bit of tactical astuteness, a bit of a tactical edge, then, you know, that would be perfect to go back to training on Monday and be like, right, we know what we need to work on and we know how to work on it. So then when we do come against, you know, Man Met, Uni of, Liverpool, John Moores, Engineers, all these sides, maybe a Leeds Beckett rematch, who knows? We have that edge, we have that tactical astuteness to be able to go forward.
This current score is 28 to Leeds Beckett, Salford 0.
And Burrows will take the kick again. And again, it's in a very ideal area. It's in a good area, but Salford's press, you've got to say, it's been really laboured, and number 8 has been able to just completely destroy the line. And he's kicked to their 11. Novak's going to be strong, and it's a brilliant challenge.
Brilliant challenge. That number 8 run was phenomenal, really.
You've got to say, but you've
gotta
got to
give him
say,
credit.
it's come from a very laboured Salford press.
Yeah.
I mean, Salford have got to be stronger. DB with a tackle there. It's 21 to 3.
3. Big 3. Big 3.
Yeah, their prop, he's really
Got
going to look
yards.
to push there.
Got some yards.
And they're so quick with the passing, you've got to say today, Leeds Beckett. Salford, they've got to be stronger in the challenge.
It's another try.
I mean, you saw that there. The number 12, I believe that was just able to, hand off 4 Salford players.
Yeah.
There wasn't a strong enough tackle, and he was able to just dive over and get them another try. Obviously, it's going to be a less than ideal kick area. It was right in the corner, but you've got to say, defensively, Salford, they have just been laboured. They have been laboured, and they haven't really put that commitment that you want to see.
They need to press more, definitely.
Exactly. Maybe it's.
You can see they're kind of just standing still, waiting for the man to get to them when they should be pressing up. It's unfortunate, but
I mean, obviously, we mentioned earlier it's less than ideal. They might not be warm. Obviously travel issues. They didn't really have time for a proper warm up. Maybe 5-10 minutes. A few line out drills. Nothing too mental. And I mean, maybe it's just a slow start.
Slow start.
But yeah, it's really good for Leeds Beckett, to be honest.
Tough kick for the kicker.
It is a tough kick, and we will see if he can convert.
No conversion.
No conversion.
Score will stay at 33-0.
Exactly. I mean, we're nearly halfway through this first half, Lewis. What are your key talking points so far? Like, what would you highlight as, Salford's pros, Salford's cons, and what can they work on? And how may, they see an avenue to make this a bit more of a competitive contest?
Definitely need to work on pressing the ball.
Yeah.
We just haven't got enough of attacking ball, really. We seem to be always attacking from our own half, not much in their half, which is a shame, but they can still turn it around. I believe.
I think it's a higher press. We need to see a higher press with
100%.
more intensity, because, I mean, we saw there, inklings of a high press, but it probably just wasn't as aggressive as you would have liked it,
No.
I mean, we have some massive individuals here.
Big guys.
Exactly. So it's like, you want to see a high press. I mean, you want to see it quicker. You just want to see them go as a unit, a high press, and just start destroying people.
That's that big number 14.
I mean, you can see there he's electric and he's powerful. And those are the avenues they're trying to exercise. I don't actually think there was a release of the ball there, so it will be a Salford penalty.
Chance to get some points on the board.
I mean, I do think it is a bit too far to kick, whether it is Henry Burrows or Aaron Mason. I don't know whether we think about doing a line out or a scrum here.
I think they're going for the line out.
Oh no, it's 50 by 22.
It's a good line out spot.
It is a very good line-out spot.
And we've got some nice second rows to jump up. Thomas DB.
Exactly. You've got players to push as well.
Players to push.
It's going to be. It's a very good avenue to really push towards that far corner. Maybe look to come out with the 9, spray across, open up the space for Novak potentially to have the overlap on that side. Well, it's going to be Toby Payton, filling in at number 2. His first game out, number 2 for Salford Rugby Union. Prominently featured at number 1. It will be his first game to throw. Here we go.
Great line out.
It's a good push back there. Here's Mason. Oh, it's a good challenge by the Beckett. But, I mean, this is what you mentioned. You said we're always attacking from our own half, It's a very good line-out spot. We've been pushed back so far.
20 yards or so.
Feast. To Mason.
Great dummy by Mason there.
He's such a talented player, Aaron Mason. We all hope he can stay fit this season. He had his injury issues last year, but he is such a talented player. So is this man, Vusi. Look at that, Vusi Dubo.
2 players.
Brilliant. A worthy number 8 to play for Henry Burrows, but he has been ruled to have not released the ball there.
They go for the pick and go.
They're going to go quick.
Oh, what a challenge.
Brilliant challenge from Solarcha. And now, their ability to play quickly and push it wide is so brilliant. Then 9, you've got to say, he's been brilliant as well with his distribution out the rucks. He's constantly finding the men he knows can make the difference. That number 3 has been so good at making
yards.
Yeah.
Grubber through.
And they're looking for the kick. Perry did well to recover it. Probably needs a bit of help here.
We've got men to go over, luckily.
Now you got to think Salford got a kick here. Oh, and it's a less than ideal kick from Mason. But he will have a second bite at the cherry, and he does get it away. I mean, the press from Leeds Beckett today, you've got to say, has been wonderful. Like, I mean, it's exactly the type of press we want to implement.
Credit. You have to.
That's exactly the type of the press that you mentioned that we want to see Salford implement. You know, be aggressive, be powerful. And I mean, you said we had such a great line-out spot there, but that press was able to push us back 20, 30 yards. And I mean, they've got really great position for an attacking line-out here. Obviously, we have faith. We've won, all the line-outs that have been taken so far.
Yes, we've got a good line-out record so far.
But we can't rely on being so prominent in these defensive line-outs. We've got to be able to have attacks of our own. Oh, it's a brilliant claim from Hoxley there.
Take.
Goes down, and now can Salford push? Feast is there. To Graham. Feast again. Will he look for his 10? He finds Aaron Mason. Plays it to Henry Burrows. And again, you've got to say, Salford, they've been
holding on to the ball.
They've been holding on to the ball too long. I don't want to use the word lazy, but I think it's just negligent. I think negligent's the right word to use. It's just not being aware of like what they actually do. Like they need to be, ensuring that they're not holding on to the ball because they're conceding penalties in such good areas for Leeds Beckett to take advantage of.
Leeds went for the tap and go there.
Now here's the 9.
Uncontested, but
we can see a few changes here. Charlie
Higgett on for number 9. What a man.
Now, Mason. And he will just kick it to touch.
Oh, it's not got
and Zach Pounder, I mean, how brilliant is it to see Zach Pounder in a Salford Rugby shirt again, 18 months on the sideline. What a story and what an inspiration this young man has been for this university.
And he started off amazingly with that pie tackle.
Exactly.
I'm sure he'll be commanding the line.
I mean, last time we saw him in this shirt, he was playing hooker. I mean, he's now out playing number 14.
But that's what we like,
I mean, I do have to just,
He's very vocal and to be able to change the style of play, hopefully.
Exactly.
We could give some new life into this Salford team.
Dan Feast seems to be maybe looking like he's playing number 13 now as well. We're just seeing a bit of variety from Salford, a bit of tactical variety. Here's Mason.
Bit of a kick.
And Zach Pounder's really going to give it chase. And he's got the power. And he's brilliant. Look at the tenacity from Pounder. I mean, I've got to take a second just to speak about this. This man was told that he may never, walk again. Would definitely never play rugby again. And he's really shown. I mean, last year he was such a leader, despite the fact he couldn't get on the pitch. And he's showing everyone he's such an inspiration every single day. He's coming on the pitch, he's leading, he's playing in a position that he's not used to, and he's immediately showing that aggression that we wanted to see from Salford.
Unfortunately, we were off the feet in the ruck. We've given away a penalty.
Of course, it's less than ideal, but can Salford claim that?
Oh, it's not gone out, has it?
I wasn't sure if that went out,
But they've given it.
But you got to say that's a more positive start for Salford in this phase of play. Obviously, we thought it was half time. It wasn't. We recorded the half time show for nothing. But that's a much more positive start. It's a quick high press. Off Mason's kick, you saw immediately Pound just running across.
That's the change Pounder gives. He's phenomenal.
Exactly, and you just saw like I couldn't see what number it was, but the Beckett's player he went up for the catch and immediately Pound's just pushing. He's rucking him immediately, and he's just making life so difficult for Leeds Beckett.
That's what we like to see.
Now, I mean, this is a really good line-out position.
Great line-out position. They might go for the maul.
I would predict that. Here we go. They're both going to go up. It's pushed back, but Salford got there.
That's a kick.
The 9's going to kick across. It's along the floor. Here's 12. Now, Novak looks like
Another kick.
Novak, I believe, has moved to the number 12. It looks like Dan Feast, the captain, obviously started at 9 today. Did a good job there, the veteran. But he has moved across to number 11, it looks like.
Yeah.
And it will be a Salford penalty. That is brilliant.
That's great. Already looking better from that little break we had.
Exactly. I think that's because we've got the experience on. I mean, Feast and Pounder obviously played together for so long, and they'll understand, how to motivate these boys, how to keep them, going. There's Ben Perry on the pitch, such a crucial factor in the varsity campaign last season. Oh, and it's a brilliant bit of play from Beckett.
Brilliant run, handing off.
Good play there, but 13's going to look to drive through. Here's the 9 to the 3.
That number 3.
And that 3 has been so good today, just bounding over Salford players. Have stopped him just in front of the line.
We've also got Wiggles on the pitch.
Oh, and it's a brilliant run over from DB. But I do think he's adjudged him to be off his feet. I didn't think he was off his feet there.
I didn't think that either.
I thought DB did a good job of rucking. He ran the ball over. But, the referee's decision is final. It's unlucky for Salford. But again, it's a few more positives. We're seeing a few more positives. I mean, you've got to say, the positives we have seen, when this side is in full force, they're so used to playing with each other, it's going to be a dangerous team to play. This Salford side. I mean, I'm sure we've got our rivals coming up, Chester, Manchester Met, teams like this. And this is all built for varsity, This is all character making and all built for varsity. And it will be another uncontested scrum, it does look like.
But we have had a front line change here. We've got Wiggles on for Toby Payton in the number 2.
Yep.
We'll see what he does.
Exactly. Matt Wigan, every time he played last season he gave absolutely everything for the club. Oh, it's quick play, but it's a brilliant challenge in there by Aaron Mason. But it does look like they will probably claim their try.
Or is it held up? They've given the try.
They have given the try. It's unlucky, but I mean there are a lot more good things to take for Salford from this phase of play. I'm sure we're not far from half time, but there'll be a lot more positive. KJ will take the team talk. I'm sure obviously he'll have constructive criticism for the side, but he will have a lot of positives. Like he'll acknowledge that this is a learning curve, but the boys can take some joy from this game. They can take, some good defensive phases. They can take good strength in the line out. They can take so many, good things, and it can only get better as the game goes on.
Definitely.
Now, we're gonna see Salford reset for the kick, which is, I believe, the first kickoff of this second phase of play we've seen. So we're gonna see how Salford can react to this. Henry Burrows has taken a seat on the bench, so I do believe Aaron Mason probably will take this kick. Oh no, that's my apologies. Henry Burrows is still on the field. And now Burrows to kick into what seems to be the far right corner. There's the kick. DB can claim that. He's got up. Oh, it's a good take. It's a good take by the one.
It's a good take. DB did contest. He's going in the ruck.
He's been so powerful in the ruck. And now they're going to look to, that quick face pass. Was that tinge forwards there, that pass?
It was very flat, I must say.
Yeah. Seen a couple of those. He's going to be put across. And now he will look to kick to the 1. Sorry, to the 11. But oh my gosh, 7. Oh, it's a brilliant drive. And Burrows got just about enough on that.
Just about. Just a little wobble. All it needs sometimes.
Now the 3. He's been
Big
so
3.
good at making ground. He's such a physically domineering presence,
Yeah.
He's so powerful in those man-to-man exchanges. And 13. I mean, you've got to say Beckett haven't been afraid of the contact, and they've really shown great progression when they do go into the contact. But look at that, Aaron Mason is probably the smallest player I think I've ever seen play rugby, and he is putting in some of the biggest hits.
Big hits, yeah.
Like, he is absolutely immense. And Salford, they will claim a penalty. There was too much holding in the ruck there. Did not release the ball. Now, Salford, they take the line out. And, they look to push forward. We can see number 7 limping slightly for Leeds Beckett. Obviously, we wish him the best. We hope he is okay. But Salford, they can come back here. In terms of...
This like that's a good opportunity to show some attacking rugby, get deep into their half, hopefully.
Exactly. I mean, would you say potentially maybe utilise the kicking of Mason a bit more? Would you say potentially, obviously, we've got a line out here. it looks like Felix Hoxley's actually going to go and throw it. Would you say potentially maybe push it back to Aaron Mason, like to see a long kick into this far right corner, someone like Pounder, Novak, someone to get up there, get into those areas to make it ugly?
Yeah, we've got a nice deep line here. We could definitely make some yards.
I mean, DB's so good again in the
just collecting the ball.
Exactly.
He's been a big presence in the lineouts, in the tackles, and in some of the rucks.
He's been Salford's best player.
It's been nice to see.
Yeah, he has been Salford's best player today, and he has shown a good portion of passion.
Unfortunately, the ball did go out for a Leeds Beckett lineout. It'd be nice to see some DB taking of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was trying to just pat it along to the
Look
number
at
9.
that
I mean,
from
brilliant
DB.
again from DB, but Hignett's got to collect. But I do think he has ruled him to have knocked it on,
which is a shame. But DB again in the lineouts.
Monstrous.
Just
I mean,
big presence.
He isn't the biggest guy, but he puts absolutely everything into.
It's all you need sometimes.
Exactly. I mean, obviously, it's unfortunate we're not seeing contested scrums today.
No, I'd love to see our pack properly move. But
I mean, oh my gosh.
We would flatten them.
I mean, would you want to scrum against our front line?
No.
Exactly.
Definitely not my own either.
No, literally, I'd quit. Like, I mean, granted, I'm on the commentary desk for a reason, but still. And look, the quick passing of Beckett, it's just been so effective.
Good lines.
And the 14 is going to get their next try. Burrows tried to put in the challenge, but 14 does claim another score
right in the
for
corner.
Beckett. I mean, it's just been the quality of Beckett. I think is just overwhelming for Salford right now. And our 22 will look to sink his kick today. It's a difficult kicking region, but they have converted
quite windy as well.
Most of theirs today. I mean, 22 will step up to the tee here. Eventually. He's taking his time. Stepping now. He kicks.
It's gone over.
And I don't believe that was a conversion.
Was it not?
I don't think so. Well, the referee hasn't called anything, so. And again, Burrows is going to kick into that far right region, and we will look to implement a high press. And you can see DB immediately getting in there.
He's getting stuck in.
Dan McFadden, also, a late call-up for his debut here today. But there is a fumble.
Advantage.
We've seen Niall Smith.
Not given.
Obviously, we've seen Niall Smith on the pitch there as well, making his debut.
Yeah, he's not played a lot of rugby, but recently he got really stuck in and proved his place.
He's really, showed a desire to get involved. I mean, he mentioned to me that he only played rugby like 4 times when he was about 13 years old. But he decided to pick it up when he came to the uni, get involved with the society, and he's really shown great desire and great passion to really get involved. Not just with the rugby community, but just like with the game in general. really looking to improve his skills. And I mean, you got to say it's great to see. It's great to see him like after having only realistically a cumulative, like if you add it all together, about 10 weeks of rugby experience, being able to get a start in the first team. And there was a knock on there. It is an advantage for Leeds Beckett. It's just crispening up the moves. Really has been a problem for Salford.
I mean, it's nice to see us in their half.
Exactly. Yeah. But it's just like you could see like the attacking vision. Obviously, me and you, we spend a lot of time with the team. We know exactly how they like to play, and you can see that they are trying to implement it. It's just we're missing just that slight bit of quality right at the end, aren't we?
Missing the slight defensive line. It's just.
When it comes to an offensive standpoint, you've got
our first game though. I'm not unhappy with the performance.
No, not at all. Because you've got to say it's such a young squad.
Yeah.
A lot of freshers in this squad.
With a lot of freshers facing a new system
Exactly.
that they might not have been involved in before. So it's
Exactly. We are missing, like many key players. Will Trumper, Will Foster, Christian Golding. Henry Booth. The chairman of the Rugby
what's
Society.
the tackle from Pounder there?
It's a great
To give the
challenge.
knock on. It's that number 20 thought he could take on Pounder, but
I mean, he's a small
Pounder
man,
took him
but
down.
oh my gosh,
he tackles for about two big men.
Yeah,
to be honest.
literally.
It's
you could play him at prop, mate. Like
play him
honestly,
anywhere.
I fully think he would just push anyone out of his way. He does not care.
the current score is 52-0 to Leeds Beckett.
But I mean, you mentioned it. It's the first game. It's a learning curve. Now, Hignett fed the scrum. Does seem there was an issue with the feeding of the scrum.
Gonna get it from the scrum again.
I do think he's going to have a second opportunity to feed the scrum.
Charlie Hignett. Not sure how the surname said.
Hignett.
Hignett. There we go.
Here's Mason. Puts across the Pounder.
Found a big yard. Still going.
Brilliant.
But it's been
Oh.
called.
I do think they're going to do a tap and
Might
go
for
here.
the tap and go.
Now, will we? I know it does look like they're going to do the uncontested scrum. Actually, Lewis.
Well, it gets a lot of the forwards out of the defensive line. And if they're uncontested, it's probably quite a tactical decision from Leeds Beckett, really.
Of course, yeah.
They can give their backs more space to run into.
I mean, because if it was contested, Lewis,
Honestly, I think we'd smash them.
well, obviously, I mean, we'd be like a prime South Africa, but it's
Prime.
just like. But yeah, I mean, I think the fact they are uncontested is a massive benefit to Leeds Beckett.
Massive benefit.
We mentioned that even though we are probably the more powerful team, the stronger team, the bigger team, they've got a lot of pace. They're
Yeah.
using a lot of
Got a lot of pace.
tactical know-how. Like a lot of rugby intelligence, and they're really.
Big number 3 again. He's been a problem. But he got taken down there. Oh, they're going for
Looks
the
to kick
grubber.
to the corner, and
We
it's
got
going to be an
Pounder
awkward
there.
bounce. And 17 is coming,
Oh, he's got there.
and he has got there.
But
For
it's not been called. It's been a knock-on, I think. I'm not too sure.
which would be very fortunate for Salford. I do believe it was called as a
Knock-on.
knock-on. Now's the time for the boys to regroup.
Yeah,
Now's the time for boys to make sure we don't lose our heads. Obviously, the result more than likely probably isn't going to go the way we wanted. But now's time to look at those tactics that Molly's been working on, that Sam's been working on, Byron has been working on, and really look to push forwards and
There's
find the
DB.
opening. It's brilliant from
Challenge.
Tom TB again.
I believe we got that call wrong. It wasn't a knock-on. I think Pounder placed it down for the goal line kick.
Oh, that's more than understandable. And it is Salford
They
again.
want-
No
they've
release.
let
You
go
got to
of
say from both
penalty.
sides, there hasn't been a lot of releasing the ball.
Yeah.
That's why it's been it's been a very stop-start game today. We haven't had
That
consistent flows of
might
rugby.
be against us. I think we like a flowing game. That might be one of the reasons why.
I do as well.
I think
We want our forwards to be getting involved in the
Yeah.
play. Therefore, we can then bring the backs in later and look to play those balls across.
that's unfortunate. Our number 7 going down, getting some medic attention.
That is Remy Salacha, our French exchange student. He's such a player. On his
What's
day.
the man?
He's brilliant, but we wish he's okay. That is less than ideal to see him pull over.
Proper shame.
He's a tough man though. I do think he will carry on. He will look to get as many minutes as possible, and our physio teams, they're the very best.
Very best.
At the sports centre. So they're going to patch him up, and he will be right as rain come this next passage of play. Now Salacha does seem okay, and I do think he is going to be fit to continue. And you can see the boys
That's some of
huddling.
the French spirit we've got in our squad.
You can see the boys, words of wisdom there. Will Trumper just over there, you know, basically just drilling it into them what they need to do, how they can improve, you know. And obviously, we mentioned Trumper is out for the majority, if not the entire season, kind of like how Pounder was last year. But, you know, he's still going to look to adopt those leadership positions, you know. He's still going to look to be able to motivate the boys, still look to, you know, be a presence. So is KJ, you know, we see KJ leading every training session, you know, putting in the work. You know, they're still going to be ever-present figures in the team. And, I mean, how useful do you think it is for, from the point of view of a fresher, to see, you know, players that, even though they aren't fit, they're not medically cleared, to see them still, you know, putting in hours and minutes to make sure the club's better.
Well, the fact they're here shows their love for this club.
Yeah.
It shows that they're willing to come to the match and give advice to the team. It's very good, especially from a, as you said, a fresher perspective, to have someone be there at the time. DB, what a great take there.
I believe it was Matt Graham.
It wasn't
actually.
even DB. I thought it was because of how amazing he's been all game. I just assumed it was.
Now Salford got to release. Hignett to claim. And McFadden, look at that, brilliant. There's Mason. Oh, it's a brilliant press. It's an unbelievable press. Oh, and they've been able to take. Oh, and that's not what you want to see. Aaron Mason, he's battled with so much injury. I mean, it was a very hard challenge.
He's been going in for these big challenges.
Yeah, I mean, you got to say, you don't want to see this at all. You know, he's done such hard work to come back from so many injuries last season. Was barely able to really get any minutes, but he is one of our best players. He's absolutely our best 10.
Absolutely.
I mean, you don't want to see, you know, him down injured. Obviously, our physios will do the very best, but you know,
might be he might be winded.
Yeah, I mean, that was a very, very big hit.
And obviously, on this Astro turf, it's
it's way harder
than the grass.
Yeah. But obviously, we will pause the game. We're gonna hope he's okay. He's sitting up. That is the benefit, you know. Like he is gonna get up. Whether he wants to continue or potentially,
looks like he's going off.
Which I think is the best decision. You know, in a game like this, you don't want to risk, you know, damaging one of our players that, you know, we'd hope would be within the varsity squad. You know, we don't want to risk, you know, longer term aggravation or anything like that. Who knows? Within 10 minutes, he might be okay to come on. But for now, we you know, you just want to err on the side of caution, don't you?
Yeah.
But we're gonna have an uncontested scrum here. It does look like Zach Pounder has gone to play 9 and Charlie Hignett has gone to play out at the 11.
It's surprising, but I can see it working. But here we are. I mean, Pounder just wants to get more involved in the game, which he deserves to be. He's a great player, as we've seen, made an impact immediately.
Well, exactly. I mean, obviously, he did play 9 for his home club, Hartlepool. Yeah. He did it for his first 80 minutes of rugby after his injury. And, you know, he's come on here. He started really well at that 14, but, you know, he's going to now come on and play that number 9 role.
Yeah.
Now, I do believe it will be a Leeds Beckett line-out, but we've seen, you know, the strength of...
We've seen our line-outs. We can attack these line-outs well, and we hopefully will get possession.
Exactly. DB's going to go. And he's still contesting for it,
That's our first line-out we haven't got the ball from.
You've got to say, with the press...
We can see the high press active there.
Exactly, but you've got to say, maybe at times it is a bit too eager. We're running past before the ball's even had a hint of being played.
Yeah.
Therefore, we're opening it for their 9 or whoever gets on the ball to have so much space.
We have just
accelerate.
Penalty though, so...
I mean, do we kick here? I mean, it is quite far.
I think we kick for touch. Go for that. We've seen our line to be very strong.
And Perry will put that. It's a brilliant line-out position. You've got to say.
That's astonishing.
I mean, you've got to say it's got to go for the maul. Charlie Hignett saying some words to the commentary team. Should probably get involved in the game.
Yeah, to be honest. Another strong Salford line-out.
Now Hoxley will throw again. Would you say potentially go for the maul at the front? Throw the P-ball.
Bit far from the line, but you know what?
We've got the mass to do it. And I do
They
think
are
we are
going for it.
we are going to go for it.
It's been a chance to show our pack strength. Look
Oh,
at that
look at that.
drive.
Finally.
What
Oh,
a
and there
oh!
it is.
Someone's gone through. Where's anyone backing him up?
I believe it's Tom Cresswell. Here's Josh Flatt, the vice-captain. Josh Flatt! To get
We got
Salford.
score on the board.
First try of the season. It's
All
the
from
man
our
on the
line-outs.
poster. The boy of the day. It is Josh Flatt. He has been brilliant.
Amazing.
I mean, that is exactly what we said. We need opportunities to show our strength in the pack. You mentioned it perfectly of saying going for the maul, and that has worked an absolute dime. I mean, we saw there, great throw from Felix Hoxley, an unbelievable take from Matt Graham.
Yeah.
Initially, it looked like Leeds maybe were going to get the better of us, but as soon as we got
Got the drive going.
exactly the feet planted and started the push, it was just unstoppable. A great breakout. I believe it was Tom Cresswell, the number 4, and then a great recovery from Josh Flatt. Never gave up on it, and Salford have their first score of the season.
So that gives the score to 52-5.
Henry Burrows the kick.
Unfortunately not.
Unlucky, obviously it is quite a windy day here at Yarnbury Rugby Club, and that ball just wasn't able to come in. But there we go. I believe this is actually half time now.
Yes.
So so we're gonna go around the front and we're gonna actually give our thoughts on the first full half. All right, half time here at Yarnbury Rugby Club. Not an ideal first half, but you've got to say the last 10 or so minutes really positive.
I feel like Zach Pounder made all that change.
Yeah.
We've conceded much less since he's been on the pitch, and it's been phenomenal. He's been a great start. We saw that first tackle he did, he immediately made an impact. And
I mean, we mentioned it, earlier on the commentary. Zach Pounder, what a story.
Yeah.
18 months, being told he may never run, let alone play rugby again.
And here he is.
And then he's come on, and he's absolutely bossed it since coming on. He's played 14, and then now recently we've seen he's moved to 9, and he's just been great.
Yeah.
And I mean, you've got to say, Salford really picked up. They were able to use, their strength, the mass. You mentioned it. They need to implement, the maul, show the opportunities for, that front row to be able to be effective. And you've got to say, in those last 10 minutes, that's exactly what they did from the lineup.
That's exactly what they did.
I mean, what would you say your key point, your key takeaway, and your key note for Salford is to move forwards?
Our line-outs have been phenomenal. We've only lost one.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it does look like we are actually about to get kicked off again, so we are going to jump back into the commentary booth, and we will see you live on Salford Sport TV. Right, okay, we are back underway. We are back underway at Yarnbury Rugby Club. And, Salford, again, you can see a few changes. Vusi back on the pitch. Charlie Hignett now occupying that number 11 role. Luke Grimshaw over at the number 14.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an interesting strategy, but, we are going to see...
we also haven't seen many wing runs from our side. So
no
that might be
overloads.
why Charlie's been put out on
Yeah.
the wing.
Yeah, there hasn't been many overloads. Everything's kind of come down central areas until we kick. Right, it will be a Salford scrum.
Zach Pounder putting the ball in there.
Now Pounder will collect. To Perry. And Salford looking to push it across quickly.
Getting held up. He's gone down.
Now he will feed it. Watson. Here's Pounder. McFadden looks to get involved. And it was foul play by Leeds Beckett.
That's good to see.
Now, I mean, would you say Perry will look for a kick to touch again, Try and put it in those dangerous areas for a potential line-out?
I think he tried, but it went out for either a scrum or a kick, but it's up to them to choose. They've gone for a scrum, I believe.
I mean, look at the size of their... I believe that's a new 14.
That 14 runs into Charlie, we'll see. Not sure how. Charlie should take him down.
Yeah, sorry, look at their fullback replacement.
It's an interesting choice, but...
I mean, that could be... I mean, if you have Josh Flatt running at that fullback, that is going to be a disaster.
Anything can happen.
We're going to need 14 ambulances. It's just going to be awful. That's a good challenge there from Novak.
That Novak moved more into a central role, it seems.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Novak probably
Good defence from Salford there.
is now playing number 13. I think I can see. You know, I think he looked probably a bit better there than he did playing 14 in the first half. He occupied those positions. He's got the strength. Yeah, he's got the strength.
And as you said, we're moving more centrally now, so it makes more sense for.
Exactly, to have just a bit more of that central mass, that central strength in there. Now Vusi.
For a number 8 pickup.
And Vusi, look at that. He's just able to bound over so many men.
Big 14 hit though.
He needs to release. Here's Pounder.
Wiggles.
To Wiggles. Wiggles, so much strength. Taking on 4, 5, 6. Now looking to run over.
Right.
Yeah, Charlie did a good job of holding the right there. Vusi goes down.
Some nice attack in there half finally.
Unlucky from Niall. Here's Graham. Oh, and Beckett have been good at that today. You know, just turning them over. It's all the way across. And their 11's got space. Oh, it's a great challenge. I think that's Zach Novak again. You mentioned it. He is a hitter, isn't he? Here's the 6. Just looks to drive through the men.
Pounder's moved back to.
Yeah, it looks like he's now occupying that 11 space. That 11 space.
I think he's trying to take on that 14.
I was going to say that. You know, Pounders showed that he probably is one of the quickest on the pitch right now. You know, he's got the speed for it. But it's all the way across to the 14. Oh, it's a good challenge. Here's their 15. And again, Salford just getting involved in those dirty areas where maybe you just wouldn't, like, that dirty work you don't necessarily want to do. They're going to kick back one more. They are calling time. I don't believe a try's been scored, or has it?
To defend the try, I think.
Brilliant.
It's been great work. Someone's gone down. I'm not sure who that is. Can you verify who that is?
That looks like Henry Burrows to me, which would be a big loss. He does seem to be getting up, but we are going to send the physios over. You'd rather be safe than sorry.
Yeah.
You gotta be honest though. The ability to defend that initial try, that's very promising.
14 as well.
Yeah, exactly. From like such a powerful overload from Leeds Beckett, you've got to say that is like a good sign.
Yeah. Going for a kick here. Sensible option.
There is the goal line kick. Here's 21.
Got a lot of room to run.
Puts that all the way across to the 11. It's a good challenge in there by Salford. Be put across. Now here's 2. Oh, it's brilliant. It's going to be under the post. It's great play by Leeds Beckett.
It's unfortunate.
He is unlucky, but I mean, I think in the last half, like since the beginning of this half, we have shown, you know, better tactical astuteness, better tenacity.
It's not gone for a try. It's interesting.
I'm curious what they have given here. Are we going to see potentially an uncontested scrum?
Looks so.
Yeah, exactly.
Our defence so far haven't leaked anything yet. But
Well, exactly. It's been a better start to this half.
definitely a better start.
Here we go. Uncontested scrum, fed by Pounder. Perry.
Nice kick.
It's a very nice kick. And 10 hasn't claimed it, but obviously it has petered out.
Nice.
But of course, I mean, we've mentioned so many. we've mentioned so many times the defensive ability from the lineouts. You know, Tom DB, Matt Graham, they've been very powerful, whether it's an offensive or defensive lineout. And I've got more than enough faith that we can, you know, make a problem here. We can take. I mean, Lewis, what would you say, just off these last 10 minutes in the second half, is you know, Salford's key to more success?
Not really sure. It's been quite a. Leeds have still had a lot more of the possession than us.
Yeah.
But our defence is looking better. They've had 2 opportunities to score and they haven't been able to. But we'll see from this line-out.
I mean, we've seen a couple of changes there. Felix Hoxley and Tom Cresswell have come off. Their days probably will be over now.
Yeah.
But, you know, you got to say, good performances from both of them. You know, Hoxley, it's his first time playing in the Salford shirt. You know, showed a lot of passion, a lot of tenacity. Was obviously pivotal in the like brilliant line-up throws and stuff like that.
Going for another scrum here. Good news.
Which I think potentially is the way to go. You know, Hoxley's probably our strongest line-up thrower, and you know, if he's not on the pitch, you maybe do want to go for a scrum. Obviously, if it was contested, we could make a lot more ground than we wanted to. But off this, we'll see. It's going to be kicked back. Here's Pounder. Oh, it's a slightly rogue pass. Feast has to collect from 10. Oh, it's turned over. Brilliant recovery from Zach Pounder. His initial mistake, but you know, he's won it back for the side.
Dive back on the ball.
And it is Salford.
Winning more penalties this half, which is nice to see.
It's just making it a bit more of an open game, a bit more of a scrappy game. Yeah. You know, I mean, Leeds probably have, they're probably playing the slightly like nicer rugby, but it's just making it ugly. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's not making them comfortable. Look at that from Pounder, taking out the fullback.
Just sprinting up there.
Good challenge from Flair. Now Salford have got, like, you can hear the calls for Salford press. They're going to go now.
They go for the kick.
A brilliant stop of the kick. Brilliant from Dan Feast there. Here's the 10. Oh my God. Beckett, they're going to look to get on the pitch here.
Lovely eye press here.
Oh, brilliant to twist and turn. The 21, he's up against Burrows. Oh. He's got the better of Burrows. And he will slide that under the post for another Leeds Beckett try.
Maybe that press was too high that I complimented earlier, but...
Well, it started well. It started well, but they just weren't able to maintain the shape. It's just the shape. I think it's slightly disjointed. They're going up one by one, and it's just not clicking fully right now, you know? They need to be pressing as one line, you know? And I do feel like at times maybe individuals, they're just getting a bit overeager. They're running a bit too fast. So obviously once the Leeds Beckett's player does dummy it, they're completely out of the game.
Yeah.
And I think it's just, you know, we spoke about the passion, the tenacity to the aggression, but I think it's just like keeping that composure.
Keeping the composure. That's a great way of saying it.
Yeah, keeping that composure when it does come to the press.
Kick's gone through. That is 59-5 to Leeds Beckett.
Exactly. And, you know, we will hope that, you know...
But not a disappointing half.
No,
so
I think... I mean, obviously we went in...
Showing more aggression.
Exactly. More aggression, more tenacity. I think the only thing that's missing is just a bit more composure and being a bit more relaxed when being off the ball.
Yeah.
That's it. Just making sure that you're not...
arranging of the defensive line.
Exactly. Just making sure that you're not going too early. You're all going as a pack. You know, because I actually feel like in an attacking sense we've actually been a bit better. You know, we've implemented, you know, that triangle plays a few more times, and you know, we've seen, you know, I think Pounder moving into that 9 position has like really helped us.
Decision.
And here he is.
Here he is. Man.
Takes on 1, takes on 2, takes on 3, takes on 4. He's like so much ground gain.
He still was gaining ground with 3 people on him, which is impressive. I believe we've got Luke Grimshaw from the fresher side.
Well, exactly. He's now adopted that number 14 role.
Yeah, he should be good there.
I mean, Leeds Beckett have been so good at turning the ball over today. And now he pushes wide. They're going to go again. Here's 6. It's a good challenge in there by Novak again. Oh, it's great play. And he's going to kick. But Mason,
will that go out?
Oh, he does make
He
it.
just got it. He's
no
ref's not
try.
giving it as a try.
Oh, now that is
I think that's a good
controversial.
call from the ref, personally.
I mean, he didn't have a good hold of the ball, did he?
No.
It's more he just hit it down into the ground. We're not playing NFL here.
No,
You need downward pressure.
We want proper try here. But that 14, just amazing. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, you can see. I mean, a good kick and then so much pace just to get around Aaron, who's not slow, by the way.
No.
So then, obviously, didn't work out for him. But
We've got Toby back in the front 3, back
Exactly.
in the number 2 position.
We see Wiggles and Flat adopting those prop roles.
Pounder putting it in.
See,
Hoping we'll gain something from this.
Tom Cresswell, you know, within that second row.
Like if they could get out to Luke, he might be able to make a difference.
Now, Novak.
That's
Unlucky
unfortunate
there.
from Novak.
But here's
they've
Watson.
Regained the ball. Holding him properly up.
Now the referee has called a full.
Yeah, that's just know the game, please. Number 14.
Yeah, I just held him for too long, didn't he? Like the referee, you can hear. He just held him in the air for far too long. It can't be classed, you know, a legal tackle. And now Perry 2 kick.
Oh, nice kick from Perry, deep into their half.
He's 21.
Oh, they're going to kick again.
And now does Mason think about a kick? He doesn't. He will drive into contact.
If we can get over, if Wiggles can get over. It's nice from Wiggles.
Now here's Pounder. Here's Vusi. Vusi Dubo.
Big man.
I mean, we've seen a couple of these marauding runs from number 8. You know, just not giving up, still getting ground.
Still going.
But he has not released the ball. I mean, Salford, you've got to say, they've
It's,
like in
it's
terms of
one
the
their
forwards, they
flaws.
just haven't gotten over quick enough. Therefore, you know, the player who goes down does have to hold the ball.
There's a quick tap and go from Leeds, and they're advancing quickly.
Oh, surely a knock on there. Advantage will be played. Here's Novak. I mean, Zach Novak's had a good game, you've got to say, especially
He has had a good
defensively.
game.
And he's still going here. He's not giving up.
Still going. Impressive.
Pounder.
That's unlucky.
Oh, the referee's
Off
not
the
called a
feet,
knock
though.
on, no?
If we can get over
No, he
this.
goes down. Feast couldn't quite get the challenge. Oh, and then,
he's
it's a
dancing
brilliant drive
through
by
our
the
line.
8. And now the 19's going to go here. Oh, and he's got it over Aaron. Here's the
Just have
15.
numbers. What's the ref called here? Scrum.
Oh, it's a scrum.
Knock
And it,
on.
and it will be in Salford's favour. I mean,
We did get lucky there.
yeah.
I
Oh,
believe.
you've got to say, I was about to say to you, I mean, that is quite fortunate for Salford. But, I mean, this is exactly what we mean about the press just needs to be a bit more crisp. You saw even there, Feast off the kick, like he kicked it there and was progressing past their halfway line, but he was by himself.
Yeah, no one was with him.
So obviously, once their 21 was able to recover it, he skipped down
Just danced through.
and he just completely ran through. You know, you need if someone needs to go with Dan in that situation.
Should we have a quick
Take
look
the
at the number
challenge.
14 going off?
Exactly. I mean, he's had a good game today.
He's had a great game. Might have pulled a hamstring or something. Don't know. But
Yeah, I mean, it does look like they will make a change here. It's a new number 14. He's got lovely pink boots.
a lot smaller.
Exactly, he is a lot smaller, and
We
hopefully,
like to see, really.
Huh?
That guy was quite scary, that number 14. But
Yeah. Oh, he was terrifying.
yeah,
he was
to
like.
be frank.
He's like when I saw him matched up against Charlie, I was just
I was
thinking,
getting a bit worried.
no, the Bible got whipped out, bro. Like, it was- But you know, Zach Pounder, he is going to feed yet another scrum. for Salford Rugby Union. And we will hope that we can make something from this. Would you say potentially a kick off here, and
kick to the right position
for someone like
definitely.
Grimshaw to chase, because the speed Luke has.
Off the boot, but
it is off the boot, but it's not
that's
ideal.
Quite a high tackle.
It was very high. I mean, let's hope that we don't see a card. I don't think we will. I think the referee,
It wasn't that much. Of a high
It
tackle.
wasn't dangerous. It wasn't
Just,
dangerous. It was just
They going for the tap and go again.
slightly
far out
forward,
wide.
surely. But now here's the 10. Here's the 10. Oh, it's a great challenge. Thank goodness.
Is that into touch?
I do believe the challenge was into touch.
Salford line out. One of our strongest attributes so far in this game.
Yeah, I mean, we've got very good, players from these lineouts. Cresswell, Graham, DB. Those are the three names you think of when you think about Salford's success when it
Nice
comes
and
to
tall.
the
We've got good lifters. They're good lifters.
very good lifters.
Got good bookends.
Well. Toby's going to throw. I think he's had a positive performance his first game at hooker.
Yeah.
Obviously it's a bit sticky. In scrums.
It's quite hard, when they're
Exactly,
strong and contested.
like-
we can't see his true talent, but
Exactly.
He's a good
Look at that from
line-out.
Graham. Brilliant. So much work on those lineouts. Luckily, it went backwards. McFadden. Oh, but Beckett looked to claim.
it's a penalty to Leeds.
It's unfortunate, but with time, this team's they're going to have more chemistry. They're going to be a bit more crisp, and you got to hope that come the new year, Salford are going to be terrifying
Stronger than
opposition to
ever.
play against. Exactly,
Honestly.
exactly. Because you got to bear in mind there'll be more training. They'll understand the game plan a lot more. They'll
Yeah, I must say I don't know what was said at half time, but this Salford team looks different.
Yeah. It's definitely a more positive performance. Obviously, Leeds are still having their successes. They probably will kick to convert this penalty, but
It's the first time they've done that. I guess they learned from that previous kick, tap and go that they
exactly.
wouldn't
But
get through.
Salford are going to come away from this with. They will be disappointed.
A lot to learn, but a lot to praise.
Exactly. They will be disappointed, but I really hope that they do walk away understanding that they do have a great prospect of a team here. They do have players that understand the game. They've got motivators. They've got talented players, and we're more than excited to see how this team can progress and eventually challenge.
Good penalty kick from their kicker.
And Salford are gonna go again. It does look like Henry Burrows. He did seem to pull up during their last try, so it does look like Aaron Mason will be taking on all kicking duties from now on.
An advantage from the offside from Matt Graham there. Unfortunate.
Exactly. Oh, it's a brilliant run again, and he's kicked it into just an awkward area. Pounder will collect. Puts it across. Here's Niall.
Niall. Good run from Niall.
That's a very
He's got
good
a boxing event coming up. Exactly. Should be
Exactly.
good training for him.
Wiggles gets over. Here's Pounder to collect. Oh, it's a slightly wayward pass. Feast looks to recover.
Bit scrappy there, but their number 7 retained it to hand off to the number 19.
It will be under the post. It will be under the post.
That takes the score up to 71-5.
Was that the full-time whistle? It sounded like it.
Well, interesting game.
Wait, is that the full-time whistle?
We don't want to make the same mistake we made in the
Well, exactly. Okay.
first
Well,
half, but
it does seem like things have concluded here at Yarnbury Rugby Club, and I mean, obviously, it's not the result that Salford would want, but there are positives to take away from that. I think the lineouts and the set plays today were brilliant. In an offensive and defensive standpoint.
I'm not sure it is.
I don't know if it's full time or
Only a
not.
break.
Sorry, the
Like
only
they did in the first
the
half,
only
which is
reason
what
there is confusion here, folks, is because the referee did approach us before the game and said that there'd be a severely reduced second half.
Potentially.
Exactly.
Depending on when we started the game.
Exactly, but we asked him for like exact time, and he just said, "Oh, I'll just do it to whatever my year is." But so obviously we actually genuinely have no idea. Well, we don't actually think it is full time, but let's hope that maybe the boys can get a few more minutes to run about. I mean, it will be made
We don't want
clear
to be stood still for
in the
too
next
long.
couple of minutes. I mean, the physios are still, out, and they would have joined the bench, and I'm sure that the boys would have walked over to the bench. We can see Zach Pounder heading over, but not really anyone else. And we are still going to play. We still will have a few minutes. Apologies again for the confusion there. It's just because we were told that the second half would be reduced, but the referee didn't actually give us an exact time, so we were slightly unsure.
We need a strong kick-off here.
Yeah, strong kick-off. Put it in a dangerous area, and then push high into those awkward spaces, and make it awkward. Just ensure that maybe their 11 can receive it and immediately be pushed on by Luke.
Hopefully, yeah. I want Luke to show himself. He hasn't had much of the ball.
Exactly.
But that is a lot of what wingers sometimes have to do.
It's been a very difficult game. It's very much for Salford been a forwards game, hasn't it?
Yeah.
The backs really haven't been able to get too involved.
Wow, what a run from this guy. Finally taken down.
It's going to be kicked across. Now Feast goes out. Oh, it's good challenge, but again Zach Novak putting in those challenges.
14.
Watson can't get there. Novak again, brilliant.
He's really shown himself this second half and in the first half.
He's up there with DB.
He's been good the whole game.
He's up there with DB as one of the Salford players of the game. I mean, I'm going to ask you for your man of the match. When we do see the full time, whistle, whenever that may be. But it's a great challenge from Luke Grimshaw there. Who, I mean, you mentioned he's not been too involved in the game, but I mean that's a way to make your mark in a Salford shirt. Now Beckett will put it across. Here's the 20. Went across. Can Salford? I mean, you just hope that Salford can take advantage.
There's Zach Novak again.
Brilliant. He's been so good at cutting out those challenges. Here's 14. Bit too much space.
Oh, he's done Matt Graham there. Oh no, he hasn't. Matt Graham got him.
And it's a Salford penalty. No release, I believe.
Nice to see.
And I do think we probably will see Ben Perry with another kick to touch, looking to cause another line out. You'll say that's positive.
Got a line out right in front of us here. What a
Exactly.
pleasure.
Exactly. We get to see Salford in action our very selves. Now, I mean, out of the POW, where would you like to see this ball, released to?
We should need to get the overlap going.
Yeah.
I've heard that being said by the lads. They do want to get the overlap going, but we just can't seem to get it started.
We just need to make it a bit more of a backs game, don't we?
Yeah.
Like get we see Novak getting heavily involved. Toby Payton giving a bit of a nod to the camera.
Throw in.
He looks beautiful as always. Now we're going to see a real hooker's throw. Here we go.
Now with a bit of confusion there. It's unfortunate.
Right. They're going to go up. Graham claims, and they're going to go straight into the maul.
Nice mauling. This just shows our power from our forwards. Still
Cresswell.
driving. Very vocal from Tom Cresswell. It's nice to hear.
Good leadership, innit? It's good to see your senior players, leading by example. His feast to Mason.
There we go. Bit of back.
So Burrows, brilliant. And now Burrows is going to give chase. Oh, and Burrows may be able to.
Loose ball.
Oh, he's claimed it.
He's claimed the ball.
Brilliant. That's
nice
brilliant from
see,
Salford.
that's the backs kind of playing we wanted to see.
His flat.
Has that gone out?
Grimshaw.
It's gone out for a knock on. Not gone out. It's just gone for a knock on.
Yeah. But it will be a Salford ball. Would you say a line out with another?
A line out there would have been perfect, but
Yeah.
it was unfortunately knocked on.
Yeah.
I thought it was a line out, but
Well,
we
obviously,
did get the knock on though.
yeah, an uncontested scrum, may help us. But that's exactly what we were saying. You mentioned it perfectly from this line out. Immediately getting the backs in.
Yeah.
Getting the backs involved. That quick, snappy passing, because
That
immediately.
little kick over as well was very well placed.
Exactly. It was immediately you saw
Gained
it
lots
was a
of
really
yards.
good push by the forwards. Cresswell, you said really great communication.
Yeah.
Immediately it was Pounder straight out to Feast, straight out to Burrows, and it was just quick, fast, snappy play from Salford. Feast. To Wigan.
Wiggles. Oh, good drive. They have turned it over, unfortunately.
I mean, they have been brilliant at that, you've got to say. Turning over the ball, Leeds Beckett. That's really been their key to victory. They've not allowed Salford to have any positivity in their defensive third
100%.
because they've been so good with being able to get the ball.
But on the other side of that coin is you can see that we haven't been rucking as well as we should have been. We haven't been able to clear out their rucks, and they know that. That's probably why they're going into the rucks with such ferocity.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, obviously we have tried to be competitive in the rucks. Obviously, unfortunately, a couple of times we've been ruled to be off our feet. But Salford can take a few positives from here. Especially the second half. Especially the second half.
Yeah, second half. It's been looking good.
Exactly. And they have shown glimpses of brilliance. I mean, we did mention, obviously, like you said, the brilliant mauling of the ruck and then how they played to the backs, and George Burrows Henry Burrows, my apologies, doing absolutely brilliant to get it to get that kick and then claim it for himself. But it's just putting it all together now. It's just making it a bit more crisp and finishing it. But that is the full-time whistle. Obviously, it's not the result that Salford wanted here today, but
That second half, though, that's what we need to look at. That was
Exactly.
a much better performance.
way better defensively, way better in an attacking sense as well. It's just,
We did get that one try.
Exactly.
We did get some points on the board, which is nice to see.
Exactly, and I mean, it's positives. There are definitely positives to take. Obviously, I'm sure KJ will gather everyone round come Monday. The words will be said, and training plans and improvements will be put in place to ensure that the team can come out with a positive result next time. But Lewis, I'm going to ask you for this time for your Salford Sport TV man of the match for Salford.
Personally, Thomas DB.
Yeah.
I think his first half, he won't see him as much in the second half. He has been on the bench, but he was getting involved. And as a fresher, for his first ever game in the Salford shirt, he's been amazing.
I can't agree with that anymore. I think he was absolutely brilliant. So aggressive in the lineouts, like you said. You mentioned before the game.
Lineouts were our best point of this game, which is good because that's what we've rehearsed most in training.
Exactly. I mean, you mentioned it so prevalently. Yeah, how good he is within a tackle.
Yeah.
You said it before the game. He
Doesn't
never
miss.
misses one.
Never misses.
He never misses a
It's
tackle.
quite amazing to see, really.
So aggressive in the lineouts. He was just absolutely brilliant. He was everywhere you wanted him to be for those first 35 minutes. Obviously, we saw a little less of him in the second half. A big shout to Zach Novak as well. Had a very good
Definitely.
game. But I think Thomas DB is the perfect is the perfect choice for your Salford Sport TV man of the match. And we're just going to go around the front now, Lewis, and give our final thoughts on the game.
Okay.
Right, Salford Sport TV, Mars King here. I'm joined by club captain Christian Golden and today's captain Dan Feast after Salford's unfortunate defeat at Leeds Beckett. KJ, what's your thoughts on the performance?
I think for a first game, the attack was very good. There's just some little kinks in defence we need to fix. And I think there's a great platform to build from in the future, and I think we'll become a better team at the end of the season. I think we'll get some good results in the future.
Yeah, I mean, myself and Lewis were saying on commentary, there were loads of positives to take away from it. I think the line-out play was brilliant. Obviously, you've been, very involved in that, being a forward yourself. And we were missing a few key players today, but it was good to see, the freshers getting involved and the mauling and the ability to ruck, really impressed us over on in the commentary desk. And how did you guys feel about that on the bench?
We were very impressed. A lot of the first years made a huge impact today. So huge congratulations to them on the first game. Made massive impact, and it's just especially you're probably going to speak to him, Tom DB, Danny McFarren, Henry Burrows talking a lot. I think all the freshers had a great impact, and I think it's only ways up from here, really, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Well, Dan, today you were the captain on the pitch today. And what we saw, loads of versatility, especially with the backs today. Obviously, you adopted about 3 different positions. You were playing 9 at one point. You were playing 11. I thought I saw you at 15 at once. I was like, what is going on? I mean, would you say that ability for everyone to play in so many different positions is really like positive for this side?
Well, I mean, today definitely was a challenge because we didn't have very designated positions apart from the 9s and 10s. They swapped around quite a lot. But I think having a set of backs that are able to slot into those positions, know the moves, hit hard lines off different things. It's exactly what I want to build in training, what we've been doing in training. So I think having the versatility and like utility backs across the board is certainly a positive to have.
Exactly, and I mean, I think you've just got to say that it's a very young team. It's the first time that all these boys have ever played together, and you've got to say, I think after training, and obviously we've got a lot of fixtures after the new year. It's been a very broken season so far. Once we are able to get a consistent run of fixtures, and these boys are used to playing with each other, these are going to be dangerous teams to play. At Salford.
Yeah, for sure. Like we saw it last year with the twos coming in. First couple of games were a bit rough. After Christmas, hit a streak, 1-3 on the bounce. I think it's all that's going to happen with these lot as well, to be fair. They're all new, but once they start talking, chatting, seeing what it's like in actual games and not just training and in-house games, it's just going to build from there, and it's going to become a really dangerous team, I reckon.
Right, thank you, boys. Thank you so much for your time. Right, I'm here, joined by the Salford Sport TV man of the match, Tom DB. I mean, obviously, it's not the result we wanted, yeah, but we were saying on commentary, your performance today was brilliant. Your aggression in the ruck, your ability to claim balls, the line-out play, it was just absolutely brilliant. I mean, Lewis made a comment before the game, Tom DB doesn't miss tackles. How true is that statement?
Yeah, pretty true, I guess, after today. I love a good tackle.
Exactly, and I mean, like, what can you take away from your personal performance that you can go away and be, like, really happy with despite the result today?
I mean, it's just nice to get some game time again. I mean, obviously, I haven't played since the summer and stuff. Had a few months off, so yeah, it's nice to just get a first game back out, and hopefully we can kick on from now.
Exactly, and I mean, I've just got to ask, like, did you enjoy, playing with the boys, being able to, get out on the rugby pitch, and then do you feel like that this team is going to click eventually? Obviously it's not the ideal result, but we saw a lot of positives and a lot of passion from these boys, and I mean, come the time when you guys are training more and you guys are playing more games together, and eventually you get that. That 1s and the 2s and everything. Do you think that this squad has the ability to really challenge this season going into the build-up for what is the big game, which is Varsity in March?
Yeah, definitely. I think all the boys are getting to know each other now. We've been training for a few months now, and socials have been good. So I think everyone's getting to know each other. So I think once we start playing together a bit more on the pitch, I think things will start clicking more, and yeah, hopefully we'll start to see some better results on the pitch.
I'm here with a true inspiration of this entire university, Zach Pounder. I mean, your story, we mentioned it on the commentary, right? So I'm not gonna blow up your ego too much, yeah. But we were just saying how incredible it is that you've come back after 18 months and you've just come in and immediately been one of the most impactful players on the pitch. You played so many positions today, and I've just got to say, how does it feel to don the Salford kit once again?
Obviously, first game back last week, it felt good. It just feels good to be back with the boys. You know what I mean? Bus here. All smiles all the way, even during the game, all smiles, you know what I mean? It just is just that good to be back playing rugby, back with everyone, and it just feels good. There's little things we need to work on. Didn't exactly play best in some places, but having fun in it, that's it, getting back.
Exactly. I mean, I can see the joy coming from your face, Pounder. I mean, how relieving must it feel, yeah, to immediately come on? I think you smashed someone within the first, 7 seconds. How great did that honestly feel?
That's just the sevens instincts kicking in, you know. You gotta come on and make an impact and earn your V's later, that's it.
Exactly. I mean, you were such a leader from the sideline, yeah. You were such a leader on the pitch today. So many different positions. I've got to ask, if you were to pick your position now, because obviously last time we saw you playing in a Salford shirt, you were a hooker, yeah? I mean, what is your position now, if you've got to say?
I'd love to come back, put some weight on and play 7 again, but it's looking like backs at the moment recently. Not too happy about it, not too comfortable there.
Exactly. I mean, and Pounder, final question. I mean, how do you think this side's going to challenge, Like, obviously, a few more training sessions. I'm sure you guys will regroup on Monday with Simo and Molly and Byron and everyone. And, how can this team approach this season and challenge building up to varsity?
Well, it's, you look at it and we've got the individuals who've been here time, who, like me and a few other boys who are vocal, but you've got some real quality of players within the team who look like they just need to pick their voices up and learn that they are part of the team and they can put some impact in, and we'll come together more as that. And I think as you see the season comes on, we'll just play better and better and better and more as a unit.
Brilliant. And just finally, do you have one final message for all your supporters over the last 18 months through your recovery process?
I am ready for some beer. and a bit of tomfoolery later, boys.
Yes, let's do it. Thank you so much, Founder. Have a good
Cheers,
one.
boys,
Have a
thank
good
you.
one. Yeah?